Hello and welcome to Insight, everyone. I'm Nnamdi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori. Thank you for joining us.
This week we'll tackle the great skills versus degree debate with the Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Bugaje, speaking on how the skills economy is redefining employability. Then we'll get practical with Dr. Valentino Evans, business management consultant. We'll break down the crucial factors that determine why small businesses fail or succeed in our complex market.
We'll also be exploring disruptive technologies and examine how youths within the African continent and Nigerian youths are leveraging these innovative tools to drive self-reliance, development of the continent. And our guest, Luxolo Rubush, Group Managing Director, Adapt IT Education, would be our guest.
Whatever the issues are,
the National Assembly is constitutionally empowered to scrutinize,
however complex or intricate.
We have involved all the academia, the members of the academia. We have involved the academies.
Be it government policies or in fact any issue of public concern.
Our job is to help you gain clarity and make sense of it all.
This is not really healthy for our democracy.
There's a lot of aggrievance in terms of who has been in power longest and who becomes the governor of the state.
It's also in the quality of food being consumed.
After all, perception is insight.
And gaining understanding is also getting insight.
Skills and services are the new currency in developed countries. And I'm talking about countries that have successfully implemented a shift from traditional economic models to one where human capital and specialized service offerings are the primary drivers of economic value and societal advancement. Such societies, like the ones I'm talking about now, which are essentially knowledge-based, they regard skills as the foundational assets for progress. Say what you want to say about, countries like China and India, but know this, these countries, they understand the dynamics of practical skills, and they are doing so well, of course, on account of how they encourage or they have encouraged and adapted and utilized practical skills. Nigeria, of course, understands these imperatives and, why it must key in or miss the bus. And that is why we're going to have this conversation. And my guest is right here. He's ready. He is also in the center of this whole skills economy debate in Nigeria. He is the Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Bugaje. Welcome to Insight, Prof. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, Prof, I remember back in the days, I would go to the home of a relative. When I was much younger, I was in my teens, those days. And then I would see where they hung a frame of university degrees on the wall, perhaps in their living rooms. Then it used to be, they would proudly display it there, on their walls. It used to be a thing of pride. Then they would say that the university degree is the ultimate ticket, the ultimate ticket to, or rather, ultimate ticket to getting automatic employment or guaranteed ticket to a white-collar job. Definitely used to boost, their social respect. But now, we are in an era where we have a staggering number of graduates with university qualifications and degrees, but the degrees that the economy no longer values in the same way it used to in the past. Prof, do clarify something for us. What exactly does it mean when experts like yourself say skills and services are the new currency of the world, and why it is that majority of Nigerian youths will need to key in, otherwise they may not just be able to make a living in today's complex society? Why is that so?
Well, surely today the global currency of labor is skills. There is a paradigm shift. There is a shift away from preponderance of degrees to what people can deliver with their hands. That's
so too much book does not take you anywhere.
It doesn't take you anywhere. We have done it for a very long time. It has taken us nowhere. So the whole economy is now geared towards skills development, and that's why Nigeria must key in. Many countries are using skills not only to give employment to young people, but they are using skills even to earn foreign exchange. Bangladesh exports nothing less than 11.5 million skilled workers to the world. They earn over $30 billion annually.
These are facts.
Yes, these are facts. You can clarify them. And India, exports over 50 million, young people across the world, including Nigeria. And so the whole world is changing towards, the education systems are being reviewed from the paper qualification of the past to skills. And the earlier Nigeria, moves away from that old method to this new paradigm, the better. We have to refocus our system so that we can deliver on skills. Somebody finishes secondary school without any skills. That's why he roams about. Somebody finishes a university or polytechnic with the diploma or with the degree, but without hands-on skills, he will go nowhere. But if he has skills, he doesn't even need to look for employment. He can create employment himself. He can create an enterprise. He can employ other people. So this is the new trend globally. And our system must therefore be rejigged and refocused so that we can deliver on skills throughout our education system. This is the only way we can make education functional. We have gotten it in the policy, functional education, but in the past several decades, our educational system has never been functional. It's only when you imbibe skills training that your educational system can become functional.
You've just talked about the situation we have with our curriculum, or too much theory, or how theoretized our education system is. But besides that issue of the curriculum, in terms, how much so in terms of impact are we seeing currently with the current drive for vocational, technical, and digital skills programs in Nigeria, even including some of the initiatives that the federal government is driving, like the 3 million technical talent. That's the one they call the 3 MTs. I know these are also issues that NBT is involved in. How much so are we seeing in terms of impact? Are we seeing a drive or a shift towards technical, vocational, and digital skills in Nigeria?
Yes, in the last 2 years, there has been a major shift. I think the new federal government is refocusing on TVET and skills training. Not only the Federal Ministry of Education's new TVET initiative, but the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Communications, the other ministries, Housing, Federal Ministry of Housing, etc., are rolling out, skills training programs, for Nigerian youth. We have a very vibrant youth population in this country.
Indeed.
75% of Nigerians are below the age of 35. No country has this kind of, statistics of high, numbers of young people. And a lot of them really are unemployed. You can count them in tens of millions that are unemployed. Many of them have degrees and diplomas, but unfortunately they don't have the requisite skills. So that's why the new initiative, the new TVET initiative, and the 3 MTTs, etc., they are meant to take up this crop of graduates, give them skills training for about 6 months or 1 year, then prepare them for industry. Because we have industries in Nigeria that are looking for skilled labor. Go to the oil and gas industry, the underwater welding. We are bringing Filipinos, we are bringing Indonesians to do underwater welding, while young people can be trained, Nigerians can be trained. Go to construction science in Abuja, a lot of the finishing, POP, tiling, etc., is being done by people from Benin and Togo. I mean, these are jobs that can be carried out by young Nigerians once they are properly trained. So there are, in the area of ICT, there's a huge gap there. And if Nigeria can really empower young people with ICT skills, we can fill millions of gaps that are available globally. India, South Africa, Kenya are leveraging on that. 50% of call center operations are being run in India. Global numbers, are being run in India. Nigeria is the largest country in Africa. We should be able to take a large chunk of that. But we are not, empowering the youth with the relevant skills. So this is what these programs are meant to do. The new TVET initiative of the Federal Ministry of Education has already been launched. Yes. 1.3 million Nigerians have already registered. 960 have been properly accredited. And I think about last week, the Honourable Minister has, rolled it out, small numbers, 58,000 to start with. But more are coming on the way. because we don't want to start in a big way and we get problems. So we are starting in a smaller way, but the numbers will grow into millions. So this is the way to empower young people with skills so that we can meet local demands and we can also export labor to the world and we can earn foreign exchange.
So I was totally right when I said in my introductory part that your strategic position,
yes,
you know, as MBTE, you know, is right in the center of this whole skills, you know, economy debate. But now you've alluded or made allusions to several things that have been done. I'd like for you to speak more specifically. How does all of this specifically impact MBTE's core strategy in terms of interventions in closing this skills gap? Let's say I want to know what single most significant tangible intervention your board is currently driving to ensure that every graduate, whether from a polytechnic, whether from a monotechnic or a college, technical college, you know, leaves not just with a certificate, but with a market-ready, hands-on skills, you know, that employers would find attractive and willingly, readily embrace. What would you say to that?
Well, MBTE has been on this for the past several years. 2 years ago, we launched what we call the MSQ policy, mandatory skills qualification policy, whereby every diploma holder or HND holder will not graduate until he brings a Nigerian skills qualification certificate of a one skill that he has passion for.
Okay.
He may be doing public administration. If he has passion for tiling, we'll accept it. He will go and get training in tiling. He will get certified with an NSQ, Nigerian Skills Qualification Certificate.
Okay.
And with that, it is like it's finally a project. Without that skills qualification, he will not graduate, you know, as an ND or HND holder. This is a policy we have introduced. From last year, many polytechnics have already started rolling it out, but we understand there are limitations in terms of spaces, in terms of facilities for the skills training. So we have allowed, you know, polytechnics to introduce it at schools and college level gradually. But in the next 4 years or so, we expect every graduate.
Do you not intend to enter into some collaboration with the private sector, not just government, to try to close that gap as well?
Surely we can't do skills training without the private sector, because the assessment of the skills is not done in the workshop. It's not done in the polytechnic laboratory. You have to take them to a live site where that kind of skill is being, you know, facilitated.
True.
Either a live construction site, or you take them to an automobile mechanic village, or you take them to an industry where production is going on. That's why you allow them to operate machines, and then you come and do assessment of their competencies. And that way you can now give them certification. So collaboration with industry is very critical. We can't do skills training without MOU with the neighboring industries. The challenge we have is we have few industries, especially in about 30 states. 6 states in the country are industrialized: Lagos, Ogun, Rivers, and a few others. But if you come to the other states, the industries are very weak. So for that reason, we have encouraged the informal industry. If you go to Kaduna, we have Panteka, the informal industry. Abuja, you have the Apple Mechanic Village. If you go to Aba, you have Araria Market. In Ikeja, even though Lagos is industrialized, you have in Ikeja the Computer Village. These are informal industries that we have now recognized, and now we are involving them in the skills training so that young people, after the practicals in their workshops and the polytechnics, can go there to add more, you know, to their hands-on capabilities. So we are already rolling out this policy. And we are appealing to colleges of education and universities to adopt this policy. This is our answer to the German dual system. Everybody is praising Germany for its dual system of education, whereby they imbibe both theory and practice right from primary schools. China is also doing it in a very superb way. So this is our answer, whereby students will now graduate with dual certificates, national diploma and a skills qualification certificate.
I mean, I can't stress enough how germane this is to our progress as a nation, because of course, look at all of the examples that you've mentioned. And Prof, let me also take you up on something equally germane, and that's, you know, the imperatives for continuous learning. Knowing that even in terms of what we're talking about, you and I, we know that the value of skills in itself depreciates over time.
Yeah, sure.
So that, even as job markets, and they evolve or they depreciate as job market demands evolve over time. So how proactive and responsive must we be, both at individual level and as a society as well, in terms of investing in long life or lifelong learning and upskilling, so that we don't get dumped or regress into the dustbin of history as jobs evolve or skills evolve. We are stuck in the past.
Yeah, the skills ecosystem is very dynamic. It's never static. Skills are changing sometimes by the day. If you go to ICT, every week, every month, new skills are being evolved. New applications are being developed. If you go to welding, if you go to fabrication and other construction skills, almost every year you find new skills being evolved. So we are up to the task. We are always trying to upgrade and update our curricula. We are trying to also develop, upgrade the occupational standards, which are the items we use in, skills training. So we are up to the task. We are doing our best to improve on those. And we are also calling on government to invest more. Because some of the machineries that you find in workshops are very archaic. Lathe machines that were used in the past century, are no longer relevant in this century.
True.
You use CNC machines so that you can do precision fabrication. You can do cutting and lathe and whatever with precision. So we need to invest more into TVET. Governments must, bring in more investment. Private sector also must come in to support training institutions. Because when we train these students, they will end up in industries. So industries need to partner with us so that institutions in their environment can be properly equipped with modern facilities, modern equipment, so that we can deliver state-of-the-art training. With this, we can even have qualifications that will be recognized globally. But when we continue to use 20th century equipment, we cannot deliver on global standards.
True.
So I'm appealing to government, I'm appealing to private sector to join hands with TVET institutions so that we can upgrade equipment and facilities to deliver up-to-date training for young Nigerians.
Prof, since we're on the subject of training, but not to digress entirely from the key issue,
yes.
I wonder where we are as regards the perceived inequality between the HND and bachelor's degrees. I know, Prof, you're chuckling. I know some work is being done.
Yes.
There are ongoing efforts to redress the situation.
Yes.
And address the dichotomy.
Yeah.
But how is the MBT ensuring that these new proposed qualifications, like the higher national diploma top-up, they are not just another or seen as another academic lever, but they are fundamentally embedded and entrenched with advanced industry-driven skills that makes the holder, whoever has that qualification, more attractive to employers than even the traditional degree holder.
Yeah. Well, you see, the problem of the HND BSc dichotomy, if we start with that one, is a sign of underdevelopment, unfortunately. And it has been with us for almost 3-4 decades. It has refused to go.
Yes.
A lot of efforts have been made, in order to address that. Legislation has been made, but never signed. You wonder what happens. They may go to, the legislature will go to the villa. But at the end of the day, even in the last regime, up to the end of the last regime, there was a piece of legislation.
They got to the National Assembly.
But it will end up nowhere. So if I had taught in South Africa 20 years ago, or over 20 years ago, and their industries even demand HND more than the degree holders. That's what they prefer in their employment. But here we have a lot of discrimination against HND holders. The solution to this problem, what we have decided in Nigeria, we have decided to follow the example in Ghana. In Ghana, they have scrapped out the HND completely. After your national diploma, you come back to the same polytechnic and do a Bachelor of Technology Honors degree. But a Bachelor of Honors degree different from other degrees because it will be awarded based on 3 things: character, learning, and skills. University degrees are awarded based on character and learning only. The polytechnic degree shall be awarded based on character, learning, and skills. hands-on skills. So we shall be offering Bachelor of Technology honors, which will now replace the HND. After your national diploma, that ends your training as a technician. If you want to move to higher level, you can now go and do your Bachelor of Technology honors. The content will be similar to HND. We shall even add more, hands-on training into the curricula. But we want the certification to become Bachelor of Technology honors. Already, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives has sponsored a bill to amend the Polytechnic Act. It has gone to second reading, and we hope before the end of this year that bill will be concluded, and we are praying that Mr. President, who has a lot of passion for TVET, will now sign that law, that bill into law, so that Nigerian polytechnics will be offering a dual mandate, both national diploma and Bachelor of Technology honors. Colleges of education have already gotten, the dual mandate. They are doing NCE and Bachelor of Education. Polytechnics should be allowed to run their national diploma and Bachelor of Technology honors. A degree that will be based on skills, not the conventional, theoretical degrees offered by the ivory towers.
And that would be perfect.
Yes.
I mean, that would just be wonderful. If it does get the president's assent this time. I recall, I think I was mistaken earlier when I said the bill actually, that it got to the National Assembly. It went beyond the National Assembly because it was actually passed and was pushed to the president, but never got the president's assent at the time.
Yeah.
Prof, so in rounding, in wrapping up, rounding off our conversation,
yes.
You've said so much about the MBT, you've said so much about, closing the gaps.
Yes.
I wonder again if your KPIs are matching up with some of the success metrics that you've mentioned here today, and that you might also have set for yourself or targets, ahead for the MBT. And I mean, in terms of these crucial skills over degrees pivot that you as MBT are leading.
Well,
is it matching up?
Yeah, it is. It is. We are really moving on a fast track, and we are happy with the new government, the Tinubu administration, with its focus on TVET and skills. When I came in as Executive Secretary about 4.5 years ago, we had only 1,420 quality assurance assessors. But as I speak now, we have about 7,000 quality assurance assessors in Nigeria. We have not yet gotten the numbers, because Ethiopia has about 37,000 quality assurance assessors. So look at our numbers, 1,420 4.5 years ago. Now we're about over 7,000 quality assurance assessors. These are very key drivers of the skills training program, because when you do the skills training, you have to be assessed. And assessment also, we have gone beyond the traditional assessment. We're even giving what we call recognition of prior learning. Those who are in the informal sector are now being assessed and properly certified. All your roadside mechanics, all your roadside welders, fabricators, etc., will now be properly assessed under the RPL program, recognition of prior learning, and they will be given proper certificate. In the next 5 years, we are hoping that we'll collaborate with professional bodies so that only those with a recognized certificate would be allowed license to operate. The Nigerian space has allowed everybody, quacks, the professional and the quacks, to operate. You bring your car to a mechanic, you don't even know his level of qualification. So with this RPL, we hope the informal sector will be properly certified, and professional bodies will now start issuing practicing licenses, even for the roadside practice. Executive
Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Bugaje, thank you so much for coming on our program. It's been a delight listening to you talk about these key germane issues. We want to appreciate you so much for your insight.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.